If you have a lot of numbers in your spreadsheet, it really helps to visualize your data using charts. In this version of Excel, it's much easier to select appropriate charts since Excel analyzes your data and recommends charts for you. In this video, you'll learn how to use charts to spot trends, and you'll learn how to use the updated charting tools to make your graphs really stand out. Here I have a sales report showing sales for 2014. To make this report more visual, I'm going to add charts. On the first worksheet, I have a table showing sales and forecasted sales by region 2014. First, I want to add a chart that shows only the sales by region. In Excel 2013, it's much easier to select charts since Excel provides you with recommendations.
Hi, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to let you know that if you're annoyed by the ads in this video, you can access our tutorials ad-free by getting a subscription to businessproductivity.com or signing up for one of our many courses on platforms such as Udemy, CyberU, and Vimeo on demand. I also wanted to take this opportunity to tell you a bit more about Storyals. Storyals, which stands for Story-Based Tutorials, is our video package offering for organizations that want to increase employee productivity using Office 365. With Storyals, organizations can inspire, motivate, and educate users on effective use of Office 365 by showcasing real-life best practices. Finally, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channels, Business Productivity and Storyals. Here you will also find my video blog, Succeed in the Digital Workplace, as well as other videos that can help you increase your productivity. If you have any questions or comments, please post them here and I'll do my very best to get back to you. With that, let's go back to the tutorial. Thank you for watching.
To add a recommended chart, mark the data you want to include in your chart. In general, it's better not to include totals, since then the details might be hard to see. Click the Insert tab. Instead of manually selecting one of the many charts available in the Charts section, click Recommended Charts. Excel will analyze your selected data and recommend the best possible charts to visualize it for you. You can click through the various recommended charts to see which one you prefer. In this case, I prefer the first column chart, so I'll click OK to insert it into my spreadsheet. I'll move the chart by holding down the left mouse button and dragging it to the desired position. Now I want to make some modifications. In Excel 2013, Microsoft has cleaned up the chart tools so that they're easier to use. To modify a chart, mark the chart so that the chart tools appear. Under the Design tab in the Chart Styles gallery, you get a live preview of what your chart will look like with different designs. I'll select this dark design, which provides better contrast. You can easily make modifications to your chart using one of the three buttons that now appear next to your chart. The first button gives you options to modify the chart elements. The second button, the style and the color of your chart. And the third, the data selection. I want to add the sales results on top of each column, so I'll click the first button and mark the data label checkbox. Then I'll click the arrow next to the axes and uncheck the primary vertical axis. Finally, I'll mark the title and write 2014 Total Sales by Region. To close down the chart tools, click anywhere outside the chart area. Now I want to insert another chart showing sales contribution by region. I'll mark the sales results again, click the Insert tab and Recommended Charts. Here I'll select the pie chart. I'll move it and apply the same dark style from the Chart Styles gallery. I want to show the percentages for each piece of the pie, so I'll click the plus sign and check the option to show data labels. I'll click the arrow to see more options and select Data Callout. Then I'll uncheck the option to show the legend. Now I want to change the rotation of the pie so that the Americas region is on the left. To open up the formatting tools for the data series, just double-click the pie. The formatting pane is new in this version of Excel. It makes it easier to make changes since the formatting pane doesn't cover your chart. Here, I'll change the angle of the first slice with 180 degrees. I'll also separate the pieces of the pie slightly by dragging the point explosion bar. I'll move one of the data labels by double-clicking it and then positioning it where I want it. Finally, I'll just update the title to Sales Contribution by Region. There, that looks great. Now I want to add a third chart that shows the sales versus the forecast and the difference between the two in a combo chart. To insert a combo chart, mark the data you want to include in the chart. Here I'll select the sales, the forecast, and the difference between the two. On the Insert tab, click Recommended Charts. Click the second tab called All Charts and click Combo at the very end. Here you can select from a number of predefined combo charts. I'll select this column Line Chart. If your data series has different scales, select the option to insert a secondary axis. I'll add a secondary axis to the data series with the deltas. To insert the chart, click OK. Now you have a combo chart that clearly shows multiple data series in one. I'll apply a dark design from the chart style gallery. For the title of this chart, I want to use the worksheet title. To link the chart title to text in your spreadsheet, mark the title and then write an equal sign in the formula bar. Mark the title and press Enter. The chart title is updated automatically. In the second worksheet, I have a table showing sales per account manager. If you want to chart all data in a table, you can mark any cell in the table. I'll click the Insert tab and then Recommended Charts. Here, Excel recommends a bar chart. The bar chart is typically recommended instead of the column chart if you have very long names for the items in the series like I do here. I'll move the chart and resize it by holding down Shift as I drag the bottom right corner to keep the proportion of the chart. I'll add a nice design from the chart style gallery. By default, bar charts start with the first item at the bottom. When I have the chart next to the table, it can be a bit misleading, so I want to switch the order of the items on the category axis. To change the order of the category names, I'll open up the Axis Formatting pane by double-clicking the vertical axis in the chart. To change the order of the items on the vertical axis, mark the checkbox Categories in Reverse Order. There, now the chart makes more sense next to the table. On the third worksheet, I have historical data showing sales by region for 2013 and 2014. I'll mark any cell. On the Insert tab, I'll click Recommended Charts. Excel recommends a line chart. Line charts are great for showing trends over time. I'll resize the chart, and from the Design tab, I'll select a nice design in the Chart Style gallery. I'll mark the title and link it to the title of my worksheet. I want to change the layout so that the region legend is placed to the right next to the lines. To get a visual representation of various layouts, on the Design tab, in the Chart Layout section, click the Quick Layout button. Here I can see an overview of various layouts, and here is the one I was looking for. As you can see, the legend of the chart follows the order of the data in my table. But here it would make more sense to change the order to match the order of the lines in the chart. You can always change the order of the data in your table, but an easier way to do this is by changing the legend order in the chart. To change the order of the data legend, on the Design tab, in the Data section, click Select Data. In the Legend Entries window, mark the region you want to move and change the order by clicking the up and down arrows. To apply the change, I'll click OK. There, now the data legend matches the order of the chart lines. Finally, I'll just remove the axis title by marking it and pressing Delete on my keyboard. In this last worksheet, I have profits by region over time. Instead of inserting a separate chart, I will visualize the data in the table itself. In this version of Excel, Microsoft has introduced Quick Analysis, a tool that helps you analyze your data. To use the Quick Analysis tool, mark the data you want to visualize. A little Quick Analysis icon appears in the bottom right corner. Click it to see the various analysis options available. Under the first Formatting tab, you can select data bars that show little bar charts within each cell. You can also select conditional formatting that colors cells based on their value relative to each other. You get a live preview of all options so that it's easier to select one. Here I'll select the color scale. I also want to show each month's average, so I'll click the Quick Analysis button again and select Totals, and then Average. Now the average for each month is displayed under my table. A little green triangle in the cells show that there might be an error in the formula. Click the exclamation mark to see the error message. Here, Excel warns you that the formula doesn't include the adjacent cells. This is fine since we only want to calculate the average one column at a time. So to ignore all error messages, mark all cells and then click the exclamation mark and select Ignore Error. Finally, I want to show the trend using spark lines. Spark lines, which were introduced in Excel 2010, are tiny charts that fit into a cell. I'll go to the Spark Lines tab and select a line chart. As you can see, tiny little line charts are inserted next to my table, showing the trend over time. By knowing how to effectively use charts, you'll be able to make your data much more visually appealing.